Hello! Welcome to the TJC TSI Reading Assessment Information Session. We are happy to have you join us today. This bootcamp session is brought to you by the TJC Academic and Career Education, or ACE program. The ACE program offers student support services and quality educational opportunities for students testing ABE 1 through 4 in reading, writing, or math. For more information about the ACE program, please contact Melanie Ward at 903-510-3334 or mwar@tjc.edu. What will you be expected to know on the reading portion of the TSIA? The reading skills portion of the TSIA focuses on 4 main skills. These will be covered in the following slides. Main idea and supporting details. Topics covered in this category include identifying the main idea of a passage, comprehending explicit textual information in a passage. When you are trying to determine the main idea of a text, ask yourself these 3 questions. 1. What is the topic of the reading? Remember, the main idea of a reading must contain the topic. 2. What is the most important thing the author wants me to know about the topic? 3. After you have selected the sentence that you believe is the main idea, ask yourself if all the remaining sentences provide support for that sentence. This could be in the form of examples, further explanation, or other details related to the main idea. Here's an example of a main idea question. When we think of volcanoes, eruptions, lava, and smoke-filled air come to mind, all occurring on land. Most people are surprised to learn about the prevalence of underwater volcanoes on our planet. Because the lava and smoke spilling out of an active underwater volcano is contained by the ocean, people generally do not take note of these eruptions. However, the largest underwater volcanoes are capable of creating huge tidal waves, threatening coastal communities. So this question is asking us for the main idea of the passage. You may pause the video at this time to see if you can determine what you think is the main idea. Choice D is correct. The main idea of the passage is that underwater volcanoes receive little attention but can be dangerous. The author explains that while people generally do not take note of underwater eruptions because the lava and smoke is contained by the ocean, such eruptions are dangerous because they are capable of causing huge tidal waves, threatening coastal communities. Choice A is incorrect because the passage highlights differences, not similarities, between traditional and underwater volcanoes. Choice B is incorrect because although the passage notes that the lava and smoke from underwater volcanoes is contained by the sea, the fact is not the main idea. It supports the larger point about what people notice. Choice C is incorrect because the passage does not indicate that most tidal waves are caused by underwater eruptions. Inference in a text or texts. Topics covered in this category include synthesizing ideas by making a connection or comparison between 2 passages, making an appropriate inference about single passages. When you are asked to infer or draw a conclusion, you will need to make an educated guess. To do this, look at the evidence presented in the reading. Then add to that your own background knowledge. You can then infer what the meaning of the text or texts may be. Here's an example of an inference question. In 2010, talk show host Oprah Winfrey and novelist Jonathan Franzen kissed and made up after a 9-year feud. In 2001, Franzen was disinvited from appearing on Winfrey's TV show to pitch his novel, The Corrections, after he made it clear that he was unhappy about the books being chosen for the Oprah's book club. Describing his work as in the high art literary tradition, Franzen said he didn't want to be associated with the club, which he accused of occasionally choosing schmaltzy, one-dimensional novels. But Winfrey is apparently able to forgive and forget. She chose Franzen's next novel, Freedom, for her book club and said of it, "Now you haven't heard me say this word often, but this book is a masterpiece." So you may pause now to see if you can determine the correct answer to this question. The passage implies that Franzen's criticism of the Oprah Book Club was motivated primarily by... For this one, choice A is correct. The author of the passage states that Franzen refers to his own work as belonging to a high art literary tradition and to Oprah's book club choices as being schmaltzy or overly sentimental and one-dimensional. These details suggest that Franzen felt that his own book is of higher quality than other books chosen for the book club, in other words. Franzen's criticism of the Oprah Book Club was motivated by his pride or his sense of self-importance. Choices B and C are incorrect because there is no indication in the passage that Franzen felt any anger or was trying to be insensitive. Choice D is incorrect because there is no indication that Franzen's comments about Oprah's choices were ignorant or uninformed. Author's use of language. Topics covered in this category include identifying an author's purpose, tone and organization, or rhetorical strategies and use of evidence. Remember, there are 4 main purposes for writing. You can remember these by remembering PI, persuade, inform, instruct, and entertain. An author's tone is best identified by examining the vocabulary. For example, if an author is describing a time when he or she felt upset, he or she will use vocabulary that is dark and morose, or perhaps words that demonstrate anger or frustration. Pay close attention to how the paragraph is organized. Here are some common patterns of organization authors use: chronological, simple listing, compare-contrast, cause-effect, problem-solution, and definition-example. You may also be asked to determine the meaning of words in context. To help identify an unknown word, use your context clues. Authors will often utilize one of the following methods to help you identify an unknown word. Use of a synonym. Look for a word within the sentence that means almost the same as the unknown word. Use of an antonym. See if you can find a word that means the opposite of the unknown word. Use of examples. Sometimes you can determine the meaning of an unknown word by looking at the examples given by the author. Use your common sense. Replace the word you are unsure about with each of the answer choices and reread the sentence again. Which of the answer choices makes the most sense within the context of the sentence? Here's an example of author's use of language question. The main authors of the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution are usually thought of as America's founding fathers. Other, less known personages also deserve the title, however, and Noah Webster was one of these. Through his writings, which include the still influential dictionary that bears his name, Webster sought to legitimize an American English that was independent of British spelling and pronunciation. For instance, Webster removed the U from color, creating the distinct American version of the word. You may want to pause now to see if you can determine the correct answer to this question. What is the main purpose of this passage? For this one, choice B is correct. The author discusses Noah Webster and the idea that he deserves the title of founding father. The author clearly considers Webster important, citing his still influential dictionary and his attempt to legitimize an American English. Choice A is incorrect because although the author mentions that the founding fathers authored certain documents, he or she offers no specific praise of the founding fathers. Choices C and D are also incorrect. Although the author mentions Webster's attempt to legitimize an American English and to create an American English dictionary, neither of these points is the main focus of the passage. Literary analysis. Topics covered in this category include identifying and analyzing ideas in and elements of literary texts. To help you analyze the text, here are some tips. Read carefully. Engage with the text, even taking notes to interact with the text. Take a look at the context, setting, characters, plot, literary devices, and themes. How is the author creating a picture for you as the reader? And what is the big message of the reading? Literary analysis is the close, careful study and examination of a piece of literature. In literary analysis, readers give detailed scrutiny and study to the elements of an author's writing and give their reader's interpretation of the effect of those elements. Literary analysis questions might ask you to explain the significance of a work's title or to explain the development of a recurring theme presented throughout a piece of writing. You might be asked to explain the significance of a name given to a character or a symbol that is introduced. Literary analysis questions cover a broad range of literary elements. Here is an example of a literary analysis question. The 1922 German expressionist film Nosferatu, directed by F.W. Murnau, is considered one of the most influential films in cinematic history, while also being a classic vampire movie. The film is closely based on Bram Stoker's 1897 novel Dracula. However, the villain in the film is called Count Orlok rather than Count Dracula. The reason is that the small studio that produced the film, Prana Film, was unable to secure the rights to Stoker's novel. In fact, shortly after finishing Nosferatu, its one and only film, Prana went bankrupt in order to dodge copyright lawsuits from Stoker's widow. You may want to pause now to see if you can determine the correct answer to this question. Why does the author say that the vampire in Nosferatu is named Count Orlok and not Count Dracula? For this one, choice A is correct. The author points out that the film Nosferatu is closely based on, but not exactly the same as, Bram Stoker's 1897 novel Dracula. He or she explains that the vampire in Nosferatu is called Count Orlok rather than Count Dracula, in order to show that the makers of Nosferatu made minor changes to Stoker's novel as a result of being unable to secure the rights to Dracula. Choices B, C, and D are incorrect, because the author does not indicate that the characters in Nosferatu were based on real people, and he or she neither criticizes Nosferatu for its differences from Dracula, nor praises the makers of the film for their imagination in recreating Stoker's novel. Good luck! You have just completed the TSIA Reading Bootcamp. The previous slides are examples of the types of questions you may encounter on the test. Here are some test-taking tips. Be sure to give yourself plenty of time. This is a placement exam, so doing your best is important. Read the question first so you know what you are looking for when you read. Read carefully. As you read, mentally interact with the text. Stop and think about what you have read. And finally, go with your gut. Statistically, your first instinct is probably the correct answer. Thank you for participating in the TSIA Reading Bootcamp. We are glad you have chosen TJC to continue your education. Don't forget to take the TSI pre-assessment prior to going to take the TSIA. The link is provided in the introduction module of this course.